Hi guys and welcome. It's been a minute. It's been such a minute that I actually have 4 lots of these to catch up on. So here goes with the first lot, which is the month containing issues 67, 68, 69 and 70, which are all butt related pieces. But first, before we get into the buildy bits, I just want to show you the free gift that came with this chunk here, which I don't remember seeing on the initial launch material, which is quite a nice surprise. It's Rucksack, and it's a reasonably decent little rucksack, and you can see relatively thick mesh pockets on the side, straps on the back, which make it a rucksack because, you know, they're for putting over your shoulders, obviously. Obviously got the branding, Mile Lion Man, pocket at the front, pocket at the back. Interior, just a plain old interior, and the back pocket is quite nice because you've got a little very padded back, and you've got a padded pocket that you can slip a laptop in or a tablet or something like that maybe. Yeah, so there you go. I'm not going to sort of bang on about that too much because it's just a rucksack when all said and done, but not a bad little freebie, quite nice. Okay, so moving into magazine 67, we take 2 of these parts, both marked with an R for right. It doesn't actually specify which way this fastens because there's a definite difference in the curve. Let me zoom in so we can see this a bit better. There's a definite difference in the shape of the curve, as you can see also, whoops, from here. So I'm not entirely certain which way this is supposed to screw in, but I'm just going to kind of go with this direction and hope that we're right for the moment. I can always correct that later if need be. So we need an OP screw, one of the long ones, and I'll screw this into here and through the other hinge. Okay, I'm not sure how tight we're going to need that to be just yet, so I'm going to do it reasonably tight, but obviously not so tight that it restricts movement unduly. I don't think they're not heavy parts, so I don't think they will need a great deal of support. Right, we need part 66E from the last episode. 66E, which is also marked R, which is this one, and it is this shape as we can see, and it fits onto here. So I'm assuming we need another OP screw, which we do. So we'll get another one of those and we'll pop this in. There are 5 in the packet, which corresponds with the usual state of events with these, where you get a spare one. So I'll fasten this through here. I hope that I've got this hinge the right way round. What I should have done is checked further on to see if one of the pictures actually showed a side view. That would have been sensible, but where would be the fun in that? Interestingly, I think I've actually got those the right way around. Yes, it looks like the sharper curve goes towards the hinge on the flappy bit, as we can see in this picture. We can just about see that here in this picture. So, excellent. So we do the same on the other side. So I'll do that and I will be back momentarily once I've screwed these pieces together with another 2 of these OP screws. I'm back in with the front crotchy area thingamabob, and we are attaching using the PP screws Oh dear. Anyway. Oh, do we ever grow up, I wonder? The front crotch piece being attached by PP screws, honestly. I'm sure that's deliberate. Anyway, so we have got these front flappy bits which attach to the front cod piece, as it were, and you can see that they are specifically shaped, can only go in one way. 2 PP screws for each, thusly. Do you know, it's kind of strange that most days here on the bench I am deliberately trying to avoid things that are magnetized, and then every time I pick this up and start doing another part of the build, it's sort of it catches me off guard with these being magnetized. So okay, so there you go, you can see how that works. We've got this obviously allows for articulation of the legs, allows the legs to bend upwards, while providing armour over the vulnerable joints, as it were. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this other one on, and we'll be back to show you the finished result in a hot minute. And boom, quick as a flash, by the magic of video editing, here we are with the 2 articulated pelvic flappy armour pieces like so. And that, I believe, completes this magazine. So on to, without further ado, number 68, where we will be using one of these. Which one are you? Which one are you? Are you the left? Are you the right? We don't know. I think we're the right. Usually do the right one first, if memory serves. So we're gonna go with the right one and see if that's the correct one for this. And yes, indeed. Huh, look at that. So I'm going to zoom back out so we can see where we are at. We've got a BP and 2 more OP screws, the long ones. The fact we've got 2 tells me I'm going to need 1. And the fact that we've got 2 BP screws tells me I'm going to need 1. So, obviously I will decant 1 of each onto the floor, apparently. And so, on with the show. So we take our pelvic flappy bit. This is obviously the bit that goes over the hip, and this one is clearly the right hand side. And we take how do we, oh I see, okay, so we take this piece here, which clearly locates into 2 of the holes. Does that go a particular way up? I don't think it does. Doesn't look like it, so we're just going to pick a direction, and then we need clearly the tiny screw, the BP, the BP screw. And then obviously this goes into here like so. Yep, yes indeed it does. And we take the long screw, the OP, if I can get that to stay in my screwdriver, and thread that through like we did with the other front pelvic armour plates, giving a little bit of tension but not too much. These can always be tightened up or loosened off a little bit later, I guess. And there we have the hinge bit for the pelvic plate. This is obviously going to go up here like so. I'm going to go ahead and just check to see if there's anything else. That's it for that one. And we'll throw that aside because obviously magazine number 69 is clearly just going to be a repeat of magazine 68, so I'm not going to bore you with the details of that. You've seen what's what. I'm just going to open this one up, throw it together, and I will be back with magazine number 70 in a moment. Magazine number 70, the last of this series this month, and it's the big one with the half a base, which we're going to put to one side because we know we don't need that just yet. And we've got a plastic bit, a couple of springs, some screws, and the butt. He touched the butt plate. So front plate, butt plate, as you can see. You can actually get a really good size, again, a good size of a good idea of what size this is going to be. This thing's going to be massive. It's going to be so cool, so cool. So there we go, flappy bits, some more flappy bits to go on the side, but we are doing something with the butt piece and with this bit, which is like a weird triggery kind of laser gun from Space 1999 or something. What do we do here? We use this bit. This is obviously, okay. Now I noticed this has got like a clicky thing on. So this, I wonder if this is going to work like some kind of trigger piece on the butt that you press. I don't know, not entirely sure. It kind of looks that way. Looks like it's going to have a spring on it. Maybe it's going to be a switch. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so what have we got? Let's have a look. So we're going to put that in there. We are going to put both springs, interestingly, both springs onto here. One there, and there's a shorter stub at the bottom. We'll put that one there. And external leg support assembly, which goes into here. Okay, so we've got a recess. Let me zoom in so we can see what's going on, shall we? That would be helpful. So yeah, so you've got the switch which slots into there. You've got two springs. You've got a long post there, a short post there, and then in here you can see you've got two holes which will correspond to that, and a T-piece which corresponds to up there, and a slot down there. So let's see if we can get this fellow to fit in. Oh yeah, also that T-piece there which slots in. I see. And then we just need to get that spring to line up, so a little bit of a wiggle. With a little bit of a jiggle to get that into place. Alrighty. Excellent, yes, and as I suspected, that actually works as a little release button with that catch there. So you've got a butt button. Fantastic. Okay, so that goes into there, and then somehow we must secure this through these screw holes at the side. We need screws QP, of which we have 3, so that means we need 2. Come on. So, and these are going to go into these screw holes at the side here. Nice. Stage 2 assembly. So, so we've got the front shell and the hip flappy bits. So clearly we are going to use these. Right, let's see. I see. So, hip flappy bits. We need to figure out, I think, this is the right one, I think. Yeah, that's the right one. So that goes into here. So you see you've got a hole there for the hinge. And the left one, got a hole there. This could be a little bit of an interesting juggle. Let me just double check. I need to do anything else there? No, and then we put the front one on, which sandwiches the both, and then obviously the second securing screw is going to go through here. That now makes perfect sense. So lining up, we've got two alignment pins that are obviously going to screw into these pieces to hold them together, and then two alignment holes for this piece here, which I'm going to take a little bit of juggling. Oh, look at that, nice, that went together easier than expected, and they slot in really nicely like that. Look at that, nice. They're actually a bit loose there though, but you know, that's okay, that's okay. They probably don't need to be that tight. So I'm now guessing that, yeah, we put the other QP screw goes into here. And if I can get that, I think I need to remagnetize my screwdriver. I shall have to do that shortly. There we go. Excellent, so we have got Flappy side pieces, Flappy front pieces, and a butt button which releases this little catch down here. And we now have the cod piece of the armour. Excellent, looking good, it's looking good. And all the flappy bits as it's demonstrating there. So assembly, just double check I've got everything correct on here, and it does appear that I do. Nice. And what I'm going to do, just for a quick sneak preview kind of thing, is zoom back out, and we'll get an idea of oh man, look at that. Look, would you look at the size of that? That is fantastic. Fantastic. Loving it. So that's episodes 67 to 70 done with. Strangely, we have got some LP screws which we didn't use. Why did we not use those? Where did the LP screws go? Have I missed something? Let me just quickly double check. QP. Final. No, so the LP screws. Oh, no. I'm a complete dingus, because the LP screws secured the two halves together. Duh. It's a good job I spotted that. So, take one of those, take the other of those. I thought it was a little odd them providing screws that we didn't use. Strange. And I'm going to pop those into here, and this secures the front and the back pieces of the butt and cod piece of the armour together. I think that's supposed to be loose. It doesn't look like you can tighten that up much more than that, so we'll assume that that's supposed to be loose for the moment. So that's those done. With that out of the way, let's zoom back out and quickly do the boring magazine bit for those who like to see it. I'm sure there are some out there who like to see it, but let's just flick through that. So, in 67, real world politics. We've got Dr. Doom in there. We have got some nice artwork in there. We've got Radioactive Man, apparently. We've got Iron Man looking a bit green. We've got the buildy stuff. Bethany Cabe, The Lady and the Iron Man. Some very old sort of 70s Playboy-esque artwork there. Wow, the way that the artwork's changed, it's quite comical. It's very cool, very of the era, but yeah, there you go. Nanobot armor, mini Iron Man. That's interesting. Mini Iron Man, like Ant-Man, perhaps. And then magazine 68, we've got Ultimatum, Death and Destruction. We've got some more modernish art with Captain America. Oh, we got Hawkeye. I wondered if that was Hawkeye. It was just very, very kind of different looking. And Valkyrie. I don't really know Valkyrie or who Valkyrie is. As well as Wasp, Yellow Jacket and Thor. We know those from the Ant-Man movie, of course. So yeah, some really nice, some very cool artwork there actually. Some of the newer stuff is really, really good. I like it. Obviously the builder bits and shows us where we are. Thunderbolts, Justice Like Lightning, and some very sort of Thundercats-ish, isn't it? But heroes and villains and very traditional cartoony superhero kind of stuff. That's the Hawkeye kind of cartoon comic book thing that I know and remember. Vengeance, the adventure continues. Thunderbolts, Thunderbolts, Thunderbolts. Model 59, Robot Ethics. And then in magazine 69, Stark Resilient, Starting Over. So we've got Iron Man and War Machine, new armor, new enemies. We've got a gigantic sort of Iron Patriot style armor with a big chainsaw, because of course big chainsaws make a great war weapon, obviously. Perhaps. Builder bits and pictures. The Children's Crusade, a not so secret war. Doctor Doom again. Wiccan crosses paths with Doctor Doom and Scarlet Witch in Avengers the Children's Crusade. Okay, so there we go. Well, hey, Wolverine. We always like a bit of Wolverine. Disassembled once more. Clearly referring to the Avengers. Vespa armor, a high-flying scooter. Okay. No. Seriously? No. An actual Vespa? Get out of town. Well, why not? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. A Vespa scooter that turns into armour. Well, who'd have thunk? And magazine 70. Searching for the Infinity Stones. So we've got the movie stuff going on here. Some movie stills. Some more movie stills from the battle with Thanos. And some bits and pieces about the movie stuff. We've got the buildy bits. And then Thanos Victorious, the Infinity Gauntlet. And some of the cartoony stuff. Thor with a beard. There you go. Thor with a beard in the comic books. And Namor, strangely. I always thought, kind of like Aquaman in the DC comics and Namor in the Marvel comics. I always thought they were kind of weird because they're obviously water-based superheroes. So you just sort of don't expect them to see... You don't expect to see them out of water-related things. I don't know. I'm not enough of a comic book geek to kind of get that, I guess. But there you go. So, an impossible romance. And there you go. Don't know what that's all about. We've got Doctor Strange over here in the Silver Surfer. Okay. There's some characters there I don't know. But that's the magazines. So, join us for the next one, which of course will be issues 71, 2, 3 and 4. If you're enjoying this build, don't forget to hit that like button and feel free to leave a comment, leave a like and all that kind of good stuff. And I'm always happy to reply to comments. Thank you for watching.